Before the heroes. Before the feats. Before myths spoke of monsters. There was a woman. Not a creature. Not a beast. Not a legend. A woman. Her name was Medusa. And for a long time, no one feared her. Medusa was not born cursed. Not born a monster. Not born a punishment. She was born human. Beautiful. Young. Alive. Servant of the temple. Guardian of silence. Devoted to a goddess. That goddess was Athena. The goddess of reason. Of strategy. Of perfect justice. Or so they believed. Medusa lived under clear rules. Purity. Obedience. Devotion. Not out of fear. But out of faith. But the gods, like humans, do not always protect those who serve them. One day, power entered the temple. Not as lightning. Not as divine punishment. But as abuse. Poseidon, god of the sea, did not ask permission. And Medusa had no choice. Silence was stronger than screams. Force, stronger than will. Nothing broke in the eyes of the world. But everything shattered inside her. The crime happened. Not in darkness. But in a sacred place. And that detail changed Medusa's fate forever. Because to the gods, the harm does not always matter. The offense does. When Athena returned, she did not see a victim. She saw a stain. She did not ask. She did not listen. She did not comfort. The temple had been violated. And someone had to pay. Not the aggressor. Not the powerful god. But the one who was there. The one who survived. The one who was still breathing. The punishment was not death. It was transformation. Medusa's hair turned into serpents. Her gaze into a sentence. Anyone who looked at her was turned to stone. Not out of hatred. Not out of revenge. But to erase the memory. Medusa was cast out of the world. Condemned to isolation. Exiled from humanity. She did not die. And that was the true punishment. Because living, as something you never chose to be, hurts more than disappearing. Medusa stopped being a person. And became a warning. Perseus entered the cave in silence. The statues watched him, motionless. Medusa sensed the danger before she saw him. Her serpent stirred. Not out of hatred, but out of instinct. Perseus did not look at her. He advanced with the mirrored shield Athena had given him. He moved like someone carrying out an order. A dodge. A strike. And it was over. Perseus did not look Medusa in the eyes. He looked at her reflection. He did not face her pain. He avoided it. And when his blade fell, the story ended like all comfortable stories do. Medusa died. But the narrative did not change. She was called monster, threat, a corrected mistake. But no one asked, who turned her into this? And what almost no one remembers is that Medusa was not alone. Waiting here. Life was growing. Life she did not choose. But life that existed. When the sword fell, it did not end just one story. Others began. Medusa's blood touched the ground. And from it, life was born. Even in death, she was still creating. Athena took her head. Not as a symbol of guilt, but as a trophy. She placed it on her shield. Not to remember the mistake, but to use it as a weapon. And there lies the uncomfortable truth. The punishment was never meant for Medusa. It was meant for the world. To teach that power, when it feels questioned, would rather destroy than admit. This story is not about snakes. It is about silence. It is not about gods. It is about systems. About how blame always falls on those least able to defend themselves. Medusa was not punished for what she did. She was punished for existing in the wrong place. And that is one of the most human errors of the gods. Because when authority defends its image, justice stops mattering. Medusa did not need to be saved. She needed to be believed. But gods, like many humans, prefer a visible monster over an uncomfortable truth. And that is why, thousands of years later, her story is still alive. Not because it frightens, but because it hurts. Because Medusa did not die when she was beheaded. She died when no one defended her. And that era does not belong to the past. It belongs to all times.